night.
Now at 11, breaking news. A big night for Trump, Clinton, and Kasich. But big trouble for Marco Rubio. We have breaking results and analysis of tonight's shakeup in the race for the White House.
Also breaking tonight, debris comes crashing down from a Boston overpass. Drivers narrowly escape with their lives.
Rain working its way out. I'll let you know when the cold temps leave as well.
Marching orders being handed down by a federal judge. Tonight, Southeast St. Patrick's Day parade going back to its roots.
It's a miracle that I had moved away from that oven.
A local baker escapes a heated situation. What he says saved his life.
And a big trade in the cards for Chandler Jones, the defensive move to help New England's offense.
It's all now from the night team.
7 News at 11 starts now.
We'll begin tonight with breaking news in the race for the White House, and it's a big night in Ohio for Governor John Kasich, the Republican candidate, keeping his campaign alive with a win in his home state.
Donald Trump wins all the other races tonight. The frontrunner taking Florida, Illinois, and North Carolina. And Trump's win in Florida means the end of the road for Senator Marco Rubio. Florida was his home state. He didn't win, so he suspends his campaign in the race for the White House.
And Hillary Clinton closer to securing the Democratic nomination, increasing her delegate lead over Bernie Sanders with wins in Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio. So must we say a busy night and another round of primaries.
All these campaigns getting out their calculators, doing lots of delegate math right now. Let's start with the Republican race in Ohio. That state's Governor John Kasich pulling out the win he desperately needed, edging out frontrunner Donald Trump by a 10-point margin. But that was Trump's only disappointment of the night. He scored a big win in Florida, defeating State Senator Marco Rubio very easily there. Trump also notching wins in the North Carolina Republican primary, adding about 30 delegates to his count from that state. And he's the projected winner in Illinois as he looks to stay on track to win a majority of states, if not delegates.
Now on to the Democrats, and a big night for Hillary Clinton. She won Florida by about a 2-to-1 margin as we see the results there. In Ohio, her lead isn't quite 2-to-1, but a sizable one of nearly 15 points. Illinois now, it's still too close to call. Clinton has a lead there, but Bernie Sanders isn't too far behind. And in Missouri, it's Bernie Sanders who has the slightest lead, with Clinton trailing. It's the only race tonight where Sanders is ahead. For reaction from the candidates tonight, here's Ryan Schulteis at our breaking news desk. Ryan?
Adam, Hillary Clinton was able to take back some of the momentum tonight with her big wins, while John Kasich's win in Ohio has kept Trump from a major sweep. It was a huge night for Ohio Governor John Kasich, who won his home state, keeping the pressure on Donald Trump from running away with the nomination.
To have people believe in you and to believe that you can bring people together and strengthen our country, I have to thank the people of the great state of Ohio. I love you, is all I can tell you. I love you.
But Trump had a big night with wins in Florida, Illinois, and North Carolina.
I just want to congratulate everybody. This is a really interesting process. It's an amazing process. It's very tough, but it is by the end, if you get to the end, you can handle a lot of things, including pressure. That I can tell you, because there's nothing like it. Lies, deceit, viciousness, disgusting reporters, horrible people. Sure. Some are nice. Some are nice. Some really disgusting people back there, though, I have to tell you.
That win in Florida forcing Marco Rubio out of the race.
While it is not God's plan that I be president in 2016 or maybe ever, and while today my campaign is suspended, the fact that I've even come this far is evidence of how special America truly is.
On the Democratic side, it was a big night for Hillary Clinton.
This is another Super Tuesday for our campaign. Thank you, Florida. Thank you, North Carolina. Thank you, Ohio.
The Democratic frontrunner winning even more delegates as she marches towards the nomination.
We are moving closer to securing the Democratic Party nomination and winning this election in November.
Bernie Sanders seemed to ignore his big losses tonight and stuck to his message.
We started this campaign at 3% in the national polls. We have come a long way in 10 months. The reason that we have defied all expectations is that we are doing something very radical in American politics. We're telling the truth.
Exit polls from today show that a majority of Republican voters say they felt betrayed by their party and that a large amount of voters on both sides remain concerned about the economy. In the newsroom, Ryan Schulteis, 7 News 19.
So will tonight's results shake up the race for the White House? And where do the candidates stand now in the big picture? Let's head over to political editor Andy Hiller for the Hiller Instinct.
Kim, super duper Tuesday almost met the hype. It was Judgment Day for the Democrats and very nearly Judgment Day for Republicans. Let's start with the Democrats because there are fewer of them.
5 states voted today, and Hillary Clinton looks to be a very big winner, sweeping up all of them. Her victory in Florida over Bernie Sanders was expected, but her win in Ohio crushes him. Sanders is staying alive, but barely. He may win Missouri, but he needed another Michigan miracle in Ohio and didn't get it. At this point, Sanders' best shot to beat Clinton may be if she's indicted for her email server. Among Republican voters, Donald Trump is still the one, thanks to his big win in Florida. But finishing second in Ohio makes the math much tougher for him to win the nomination outright, which gives the Republican Party establishment more time to figure out more ways to try to beat him. John Kasich's win in Ohio means he's still ticking, but he is governor there, and it's his home state. So the big question for Kasich is, where else can he win? And the best answer may be the convention. The biggest loser tonight was Marco Rubio, embarrassed in his home state of Florida in a primary he promised to win. Rubio was gone, and was wise to drop out. Ted Cruz was cruising for a bruising and got it. He was the forgotten candidate in today's races, but unlike Rubio, he survived to fight another day.
So where do we stand? Hillary Clinton is inevitable again. Donald Trump is still winning, but is also still vulnerable to a contested convention, which is what all of his Republican rivals want, because none of them can win the nomination on their own. But after tonight, I'm seeing Trump versus Clinton in November. Live in the newsroom, I'm Andy Hiller. That's my instinct.
All right, that's what Andy thinks, and we would love to hear your opinion. For that, head to our Facebook page, our Twitter feed, or check out our websites, WHDH.com.
Breaking here tonight, debris flies off a Boston overpass, smashing right through a driver's windshield. 7's Tim Caputo spoke to that woman about a close call. Tim?
Yeah, it was an extremely close call as this woman was trying to go to the Boston Symphony not far from here this evening. She never made it there. In fact, she was nearly stopped dead in her tracks after going under an overpass.
A 5-foot-long 2x4 sticking straight out of the front windshield of a car. The woman driving this Volvo says she was on Huntington Avenue and was under the Mass Ave overpass when this giant piece of wood came down.
There was a truck in front of me, and he probably bumped up and down on the underneath of the bridge, and then a 2x4 came down.
Nancy Shapiro believes the truck in front of her hit some netting under the overpass where construction is being done, which dislodged the 2x4. The piece of wood didn't hit her, just the dashboard, but she didn't stop right away, continuing a block or two with her car looking like this.
I continued driving to go in front of the truck so I could talk to him about it.
Did he stop?
He had to stop.
Well,
I drove in front of him.
The underpass is now closed as police look into what exactly went wrong. Shapiro will need a new windshield, but she walks away unscathed.
You seem awfully calm now, and if you pulled in front of the car, you were probably calm at the moment. Did you at any point say, oh my gosh, what if more stuff falls down? Or
about an hour afterwards. I don't know what time it is now. I started to think, I hope my kids don't see this, and thank God they're out of town.
City inspectors were here for several hours this evening checking out that bridge behind me. They have since left, and this stretch of Huntington Ave is now open again. We're live tonight in Boston. Tim Caputo, 7 News 19.
We're following a developing story as police make a sad discovery in Charlestown today. The body of a missing Harvard man found in the Charles River. State police sent divers into the locks of the Charles this afternoon near Paul Revere Park after 2 people reported seeing a body in the river. And later, state police confirmed it was the body of 22-year-old Zachary Marr. He was last seen at a bar near Faneuil Hall where he was celebrating his birthday a month ago. His family says he left that bar about 1 in the morning to smoke a cigarette. now police are trying to figure out how he ended up in the river.
A New Hampshire daycare owner accused of putting a child's life in danger. She's accused of being drunk on the job. 7's Kimberly Bookman live in Londonderry, New Hampshire. She spoke to the mother of that child. Kimberly?
Adam, that daycare is here over my shoulder. It's also where the daycare owner lives. She is not speaking tonight, but the allegations against her are very serious and for one family, very emotional.
I trusted her to watch my kids and keep them safe.
After years of relying on this daycare, allowing this woman to watch her 3 sons,
I kind of felt just betrayed.
Holly Edmonds got a troubling phone call from her 7-year-old twin boys' school.
The bus driver or the school called me and said they were trying to drop off my twins and that the doors were locked and lights were off.
She began to panic.
Where's my 3-year-old? She watches my 3-year-old son. So, sorry. Every parent's worst nightmare.
Her husband rushed to Adventures in Learning Daycare in Londonderry, New Hampshire, and found their youngest son, Trey, was okay. But police say the caretaker, 60-year-old Lois Meerbach, had slurred speech and bloodshot eyes.
They detected the odor of alcohol coming from her, and she was also displaying signs of intoxication due to alcohol.
Detectives say the daycare owner had passed out, did not answer her phone, and left the oven on. Then admitted her child care center wasn't licensed to operate.
It was just like someone just punched me in the stomach. I mean, she's part of my family. I never thought. I trusted her.
And the state has now launched an investigation into this daycare. As for the owner, she faces a charge of child endangerment and will be in court April 19th. Reporting live from Londonderry, New Hampshire, Kimberly Bookman, 7 News. Night.
Also from the night team, new marching orders for the Southeast St. Patrick's Day Parade. A federal judge ruling the annual event can take its traditional route. The city of Boston wanted to cut it short, citing public safety, so organizers took their fight to federal court. And 7's Nick Emmons is live in South Boston with details and reaction.
Kim, it was a big day for parade organizers. They said if the city tried to shorten the parade route, it would be a First Amendment violation.
This was just a ploy to try to control the parade, and we came out victorious.
A big win for the organizers of the Southeast St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Now we've got a great reason to go out and have a good parade.
The Allied War Veterans Council of South Boston fought back against the city after Police Commissioner William Evans announced a plan to shorten the parade by 40%. Evans telling a judge today it was a matter of public safety.
It's not the same parade that we grew up with. It's more of a Mardi Gras atmosphere.
People in Southie reacting to news the parade will stay the course.
It's exciting. I've been here for a couple years, but last year it was cut short, so this is the first year that we can actually experience it going right by our house, so cool. It'll be fun.
I am happy that's going to be the traditional length. I think it's Southie, you know? So it's very exciting to see that that's going to be put back into place.
Mayor Walsh supported the plan to cut the route as well, so parade organizers marched right to the federal courthouse. The attorney for the group described what he felt this case was all about.
Abuse of discretion by a heavy-handed mayor. That's all. Yeah, he stamped his little feet and he didn't get his way.
After the ruling, Mayor Walsh issued this statement reading, "While I believe that a shorter route would have been in the best interest of public safety, I respect the judge's decision and look forward to working with the parade organizers to make this year's St. Patrick's Day Parade safe for all families and spectators." So today's ruling is actually a restraining order against the city, preventing the city from changing the parade this year. The city does have the opportunity to appeal. Live in South Boston, Nick Emmons, 7 News 19.
Their movie just won an Academy Award. Now producers of the film Spotlight apologizing to a man portrayed in that film. The spokesman for Boston College and BC High, Jack Dunn, says the film portrayed him as someone who knew about clergy abuse but was indifferent to the victim's suffering. He says that couldn't be farther from the truth. Now, Open Road, the movie's production company, released a statement. It reads this: "We acknowledge that Mr. Dunn was not part of the Archdiocesan cover-up. It is clear from his efforts on behalf of the victims at BC High that he and the filmmakers share a deep mutual concern for victims of abuse." Jack Dunn says that's all he needed to hear.
And I have great respect for the Globe Spotlight team. I have great respect for the intentions of the movie. My issue is that a movie that unveiled the biggest scandal in the history of the church didn't need dramatization and didn't need fictionalization, and I wish it hadn't included it.
Investigative.
Dunn also said that Open Road will be making donations in his name to charities that he's most passionate about.
There is more news tonight. This from the sports department. The New England Patriots making moves. Chandler Jones headed to Arizona. Sports director Joanne Marcino here with details of the deal.
The Patriots being proactive, trading a player they were not going to pay as a free agent at the end of the season. Chandler Jones is out, and the Patriots quickly moving on tonight. Replacing him, the Pats signing former Rams defensive end Chris Long to a one-year deal. Jones traded to the Arizona Cardinals in exchange for a second-round draft pick and offensive guard Jonathan Cooper. You could see Jones's departure coming after the Giants handed defensive end Olivier Vernon a $52 million guaranteed package of money. Jones, who racked up a career-high 12.5 sacks last season, is the odd man out in a group of standout young Patriots defenders in line for big money extensions. The knock on Jones: injuries, inconsistent play, and that bizarre trip to the hospital this past January. Jones bidding farewell via Twitter, saying, quote, "I want to thank the Patriots, the Kraft family, and all of Pat's Nation for making my time in New England so special." Jonathan Cooper, the 7th overall selection back in 2013. He has underperformed and struggled with injuries, and we'll tell you more about Chris Long coming up in 7 Sports. Reporting live in the newsroom, Joanne Marcino, 7 News Night Team.
Always sad to see some of our favorites go, but it's, as they say, the name of the game.
And we look forward to Joe's later report. Right now, we look forward to hearing about the weather. Are we drying out yet, JR?
Yes, a little sun on the way forward tomorrow. Kim, forecast coming up next.
And a wild story of survival, how a local baker survived when his oven exploded into flames. Next on 7 News at 11.
A baker blown away by a close call.
It was just like a big gust of hot air.
Tonight, explosive questions.
So we don't know whether it was the appliance or whether it was a problem with the gas supply or something else.
After a bakery blast.
The owner of that bakery, lucky to be alive. It was powerful, the blast. It blew a hole through a brick wall.
Tonight, he's talking about what he believes saved his life.
Thank God he's okay.
David Flem gets a kiss from his wife after walking away from an explosion at the family bakery so powerful it nearly buckled a back wall of the building. And yet Flem thinks this humble stack of pans may have saved him.
It's a miracle that I had moved away from that oven and I was in front of those pans when that happened.
David Flem says he turned on the oven like every other day, and he and an employee were starting their routine when suddenly, boom.
It was just like a big gust of hot air just blew to the side of me. I couldn't feel it, but you could see it around me.
The blast turned the bakery back room upside down, blew out the window of the barbershop next door. Investigators say it looks like a gas explosion related to the oven, but they still haven't figured out what caused it.
It's a gas appliance, so gas can flow freely from that device. We don't know whether it was the appliance or whether there was a problem with the gas supply or something else.
Flem says that stack of pans wasn't even supposed to be where it was this morning, but there it was between him and the oven at just the right time.
The stack of pans saved me. Just my hair singed.
Hair and eyebrows, but Flem's wife says that's no problem. They can grow back.
I still love him. He looks beautiful. I'm so glad to see he's okay.
So a barbershop next door also damaged from the blast. Both businesses will remain closed for a while.
Now, 7 Weather with meteorologist Jeremy Reiner.
And a little sunshine around tomorrow with more sunshine, I think, on Thursday, but that will allow temperatures to warm the next couple of days. And late weekend mischief, what is this all about? Well, the jet stream, it's going to look like this during the weekend. And when it looks like that, storms usually form along that jet stream. One will form this weekend, move to the Carolina coastline late in the weekend. And then from there, it's pretty much where the story ends right now, but there are some signs that something might try to come up the eastern seaboard very late in the weekend or early next week. There will be cold air in New England, so you see where I'm going with this. And maybe some wintry precipitation down the end of the Yellow Brick Road, but more on that in the coming days. Right now, this storm system finally moving away with the rain, some beneficial rain. Many cities and towns between 1 and 2 inches of rain. We were running a deficit for the month of March. Now it's a surplus. Rain is out of here. Clouds and fog lingering, so if you're about to hit the roadways, again, there'll be some patchy, dense fog mainly along shore roads. I think Metro West, that fog is broken apart. Temps in the lower 40s. The city at 42, Norwood at 44. Normally after a storm, high pressure builds in, skies clear out, you got a great sunny day. Unfortunately, there are lingering clouds behind the storm system. So tomorrow features more clouds than sun. And if you don't have the sun, it'll be cool and raw. And I think that happens along the coastline, but farther inland, you'll see some sun tomorrow. Showers tomorrow night. We move them out of here Thursday morning, and then another round of showers will arrive Thursday afternoon. And yet a final round of showers coming through on Friday morning. So there are a bunch of little weather systems coming at us, but again, no washout days between now and the weekend. So tomorrow, again, a lot of clouds with some sun. Coastal areas, upper 40s, farther inland, low 50s. Boston tomorrow at 48. Plymouth at 49. Worcester, you reach the middle 50s. Now on Thursday, everyone warms with a mix of clouds and sunshine. Temps on Thursday near 60, but there will be a couple of scattered showers Thursday afternoon. And again on Friday morning, temps each of those days seasonably mild, and for the weekend, chilly and that potential winter storm Monday of next week. Have a good night.
You too, Jeremy. A Patriots player pursuing his Olympic dreams. Safety Nate Ebner trading in the gridiron for the rugby pitch. He is taking a leave of absence from the Patriots for a shot to play with the U.S. national rugby team in the Summer Olympics. Ebner was a star rugby player actually in college before he strapped on the pads for the Pats.
He loves the sport. Now the special teams ace is getting an opportunity to represent his country and live out a dream.
When I was just 6 years old, I probably picked up a ball and started playing and watching, my dad play. So it's always been a part of my life. I expressed my desire to chase the Olympic dream in a sport that I love, and grew up playing. And at the end of the day, I've got the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to working really hard to see if I can make that come true.
Ebner will miss training camp, but he does plan to rejoin the Patriots right after the Olympics.
Best of luck there. And we'll be talking more sports with Joe right after this break.
Seven Sports is brought to you by your New England Acura dealers. And now, time for 7 Sports with Joe Amorosino.
An aggressive move by the Patriots today, trading defensive end Chandler Jones to the Arizona Cardinals. Jones is set to cash in as a free agent at the end of this coming season, but it won't be in New England, where the Patriots are prioritizing Dante Hightower, Jamie Collins, and Malcolm Butler on their defense. The Pats get a second-round pick and guard Jonathan Cooper in return for Jones. Jones was heading into the final year of his rookie contract, coming off a career-high 12.5 sack season, pricing him out of the Patriots' plans, especially given his durability and consistency concerns, and of course January's strange trip to the hospital in the middle of the team's playoff run. The Pats rebuilding their depth at defensive end tonight, agreeing to a one-year deal with former Ram Chris Long. The soon-to-be 31-year-old was a second overall pick in 2008. He had a career-high 13 sacks in 2011, but over the last 2 seasons, he's battled injuries and had only 4 sacks. A prime-time spring training matchup tonight. David Price and the Red Sox hosting the Yankees at Fenway South. Strong first inning for the Sox new ace. He strikes out Alex Rodriguez looking. Then he gets Mark Teixeira swinging. Price strikes out 6 in 4 innings of work and gives up a solo home run. Nobody touched Craig Kimbrell in the inning of work he performed for the Red Sox tonight. He strikes out 2, but the Yankees win the game 6-3. With 15 games to go, the Celtics trying to hold their ground as the 3 seed in the East, and trying to do it without Jay Crowder, arguably their best player. Crowder out for at least 2 weeks with a high ankle sprain. Marcus Smart earning the start in Indiana in place of the injured Crowder, and this is why. To defend Paul George, Smart picks his pocket, heads the other way, dishes to Isaiah Thomas for the bucket. Isaiah led the Celtics with 21. Celtics down 5 in the 4th quarter, trying to fight their way back. Jared Sullinger off the dribble. He'll nail the floater, and it's a 3-point game. But despite Smart's defensive effort, Paul George was just too much to handle. Wide open on the baseline, he'll throw down 2 of his 25. Pacers wearing those Hoosiers uniforms win it 103-98. Bruins in San Jose tonight, up 2-1 in the 2nd period. A condensed sportscast tonight, but we do have the highlights from the Eastern Mass High School basketball finals on our website at WHDH.com. That's sports.
Good to know. Thank you, Joe.
Here's Jimmy with a look at what's coming up on The Tonight Show.
Jimmy was a no-show, but he'll be right up, and he has Jesse Eisenberg, Zoe Kravitz, and Coldplay on tonight.
My favorite, Coldplay. Should be good, worth staying up for. And by the way, thanks for staying up late with us on this Tuesday, everybody. I'm Adam Williams.
I'm Kim Casey. Have a terrific tomorrow, everybody. Hope to see you back here tomorrow night.